Podcast doesn't exist. Episode 28 here on a Monday afternoon. A lot of good series this weekend. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Number one story of the day, Ketel Marte. Didn't mean to rhyme it, but when you're this good at this, you do things by accidents. That didn't rhyme, but we were close. But Ketel Marte had an incident the other day. And I'm not sure if we talked about this briefly last episode, Mitchell, did we?
I think we briefly discussed it.
I think we briefly mentioned it because there was clips of him crying on the field that all the information wasn't out yet. But Ketel Marte and MLB in general is going through a fan versus players, kind of a skiff right now. So Ketel Marte was playing a series against the White Sox in Chicago. Ketel Marte, if you don't know, his mother had passed away in 2017 and was playing in the middle of a game. And some fan, White Sox fan, yelled some very disrespectful comments about his mom, who, like I said, had passed away. And in the middle of the game, Ketel Marte was visibly shaken, upset, crying on the field in the middle of the game. Did they take him out of the game?
No, he stayed in.
So he stayed in the game. But after that, manager Torey Lovullo goes after the kid, screams at him. We got a front view video of this guy screaming, which I think, thank God for iPhones, because this is a pretty good insight. Torey Lovullo is screaming at this fan, get the fuck out of the stands, get out of here. And Jack, did this come up on your radar? Did you see this video outside of the podcast?
No, I mean, I saw the video of him crying, but I didn't see the actual fan.
It wasn't on your TikTok reel or anything like that?
No.
Because I feel like this for casuals transcended the sport of baseball in terms of, you don't really see a grown man crying in the middle of a professional sports game. In the third inning of a game against the White Sox in June of all days, not really an emotional game, to say the least. I mean, there might have been 10,000 people there. But yeah. He lost it on the field. I mean, can you blame him? A disrespectful thing from the comment from the fan. But then the question is, what do you do about this? I mean, MLB, Mitchell, you were telling me before that you were on this kid's side, that you thought that, you should say stuff like this to players, right?
We talked about that?
Yeah, before the pod, you were saying, it was funny. He made a funny joke, and it was
wow,
get over it. Ketel Marte, grow up.
Do you remember that, Jack?
I can neither confirm nor deny. Wish I didn't stumble through that, but you get it.
Yeah, so Mitchell thinks that, it happened 7 years ago. Get over it. Your mom, whatever. You got to put it behind you and play on the field, and this kid shouldn't be suspended. But me and a lot of other people think that there should be consequences. He has been indefinitely suspended from the league.
The player, not Marte.
No, not Marte. Imagine.
Or the fan, not Marte.
The fan was suspended. And here's the thing, because the Torey Lovullo angle of this, I kind of do feel a little bad for this kid. I mean, he's probably an asshole. We can all assume, if you're yelling things at players on the field, I respect anyone's right to heckle a player. It's funny. But, the type of guy who does that might be a little shaky, and he might be kind of a prick. And kid was probably drunk as fuck. And I don't think he had any idea that Ketel Marte's mom died, I'm guessing. I mean, why would he know that? What are you going to say? What?
No, I'm just thinking... So Ketel Marte went on, I guess, a podcast and said what the fan said, and I don't think he gave the full quote. I think he softened it a little bit, and now it makes him look a little weak. But I think the fan heckled him more than
what
he
Ketel
led
Marte
on.
Said.
Than what Marte said.
Ketel Marte, what this kid said to Ketel Marte that set him off was, at least according to Ketel Marte, was, quote, I texted your mom last night. Basically, he said, I'm going to smash your mom, or I'm hooking up with your mom,
But that's not what you would say if you knew a mom was dead.
Exactly. I would say I went to her grave. Never mind. If I was going to say something, if I wanted to say some no, it's not. If you were going to say some fucked up shit and piss a player off like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What would you say, Mitchell?
I don't know.
If you really wanted to piss off a player.
I mean, I don't do that.
What would you say?
I don't.
It should have been you.
You know what I'm saying? The ghost.
Because that's kind of nice to the mom and only mean to him. but I'm better at it than this fan.
All I'm saying this is to say this is that this kid is going to be indefinitely suspended from MLB games. I'm not sure when he's coming back. And it's like a theme around MLB because we've been seeing it the past probably year or so. These players are getting their shit rocked on social media by DMs, just death threats every time. And now they're posting them. I mean, how many players' wives have come out against this year?
I mean, the McCullers had to hire security. Lance McCullers Jr. of the Astros. They hired security. Now Jordan Whitlock, Garrett Whitlock's wife, posted a ton of screenshots.
You want to read off these screenshots, these DMs this poor woman has been getting?
So one
Quote,
fan.
I hope your son die. All right, good start. Not too bad. We all heard that before. If you have a son, someone's hoped he died. The other one, hang yourself, you worthless fucking cocksuckers. Okay. Little harsher. Quote, kid is probably a fucking, kid's probably ridiculous. Taken after his dad. Call the son mentally challenged. If you died right now, nothing would fucking change. I hope you get drilled in your mouth with a 110-mile-per-hour line drive and bust your lips wide open, needing stitches, knocks your teeth out of your mouth, breaks your nose and jaw, gives you a nasty, mind-boggling, violent concussion, and then to see you in so much pain you can't even see straight, getting dragged off the field with blood pouring out of your mouth. I wish I could torture you to death. And this video is demonetized.
Jesus.
And
here's the thing. Who's throwing 110?
Oh, line drive, though.
Oh, line drive.
Batters are hitting 110.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's never happened before, but Garrett Whitlock's wife might be the first one to see one. According to this guy. Yeah, and this is the players' wives, right?
So this was like a compilation that her family, both Garrett and like people in the Whitlock family, received, not just her. But like everyone in the family is getting these kind of messages.
Yeah. And I don't know how you stop this.
I would say addressing it is kind of a mistake to me because...
I mean, fuck, dude.
It'll attract people defending you, but it'll also just attract more threats. I feel like you just fucking don't ever read the shit.
Wait till Ketel Marte goes to like the Philly for the playoffs. Now everyone knows. You say something about his mom, what's going to happen?
You're going to get it posted.
No, he's going to be distraught on the field. Let's say you're from Philadelphia and you have nothing to live for except for the Phillies and the Eagles. Like everything in your life sucks.
So basically everyone who lives in Philadelphia.
Everyone in Philadelphia. And they all, they spend their whole year on the trash truck trying to save up for a Phillies playoff game, and they deserve this, and they're trying to win, and you have to respect that. As a man, I respect the hell out of that. But these guys, they're coming at it from a different perspective. They know the second baseman is emotional about a death in the family. What are they going to do in game one of the NLCS this year? They're going to say something about mom, and it's going to come up. But but Ketel Marte didn't have a choice, dude. It was so blatantly obviously it happened on the field, and he was crying on the field. Like the story had to come out eventually. So, well,
I mean, also, it's not like the heckling has worked stat-wise.
Yeah, that's
for
a good
Ketel.
point. That's a good point. Ketel Marte. You got to respect the man. Home run in 5 out of 9 games for Ketel Marte after this. What's his stat line since this incident? Because honestly, me personally, and because I'm a strong guy, if I cried on the field, I'd be really self-conscious about it. And I'd say, they're going to think I'm pussy.
Since he played the White Sox, I don't remember what date it was, but he has a 731 slugging, which is really, really good. I mean, it's a 6-game sample. His team did just get swept by the Marlins. But overall, I mean, he's having one of the best seasons. I think this might be the best season of his career, and his last 6 games are pretty much on par with that.
Yep.
If he didn't miss, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks with an injury, people would be probably talking about him being an MVP candidate.
Well, maybe could be his MVP moment. The next game, he got a standing ovation when he came back to Arizona. They gave him the White Sox put his name on the Jumbotron, like, we stand with you or whatever. But it was tough to see. It's just an interesting topic that, like, I mean, everyone's coming out with the death threat stuff. It's never going to go away, especially with the betting and shit, unless you, like, censor, like, you flag it. I guess only thing I can think of, close the DMs, guys. If you're in a big league uniform, close the DMs.
Turn off the comments.
But they need it because all these guys are cheating on their wives, you know? So it's like they can't just close the DMs. It totally fucks their whole thing up. So like that's where they get stuck. It's like you want to protect your family and your wives by closing the DMs, but you also want to cheat on your family and your wives. So you got to keep DMs open. It's, you know, pick your poison. I feel with them. I feel for the boys. But back to more on the field stuff. This is talking about off the field stuff. This is, you know, gossip type stuff. We're talking about on the field performance, what's really happening in the league right now. And this past week, it's been shutouts for shutouts for shutouts. Mitchell, what's going on with what's going on with the bats? Or the pitchers just throwing 1,000 miles per hour?
Or the balls dead.
Balls.
But yeah, Sarah Langs tweeted 19 team shutouts over the last 4 days. This was on Saturday. I think there were 2 more shutouts on Sunday.
19 shutouts in 4 days.
21 shutouts over a 5-day span is kind of insane.
6 shutouts in 1 day on Wednesday, and then next day, 6 shutouts on Tuesday. We thought, wow, that's a lot of shutouts. Then the next day, 6 more shutouts. I mean, that's what this says. It's just put out of order, but I think I put that in. It says six shutouts across the league on Wednesday, and then 6 more on Tuesday. But
Yeah, that was you.
I know, but you'd think that the Tuesday would come first, right? So that's why it's tripping me up. I just confused myself here. Either way, it's a shit ton of shutouts. First one, Degrom. Grom had a no-hitter, almost.
Yeah.
Do you not have respect for that?
No, I very much do. I turned it on and I ruined his no-hitter.
Oh.
First batter I saw had a single.
Who was that? Jacob Latz. That's
Colton Cowser hit a ground ball, smoked it past Simeon for the first hit of the game, and that was in the 8th, I think. Yeah.
Yep, took it into the 8th, and the day before the Rangers had a no-hitter into the 6th. That's Jacob Latz. So I guess the Rangers are really doing good at the pitching mound, but can't hit for jack shit. I mean, the Rangers haven't gotten much better recently, have they? I mean, something's wrong with talking about pitching. That offense is just used to be the best offense in history 2 years ago, almost.
They were basically the American League version of the Braves, and they won the World Series with it in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, it's very funny. I mean, the comparison to the Braves is there. They just had were they both cheating that year?
Maybe. People are theorizing that there's something wrong with the left field fence in Globe Life Field because the balls are just not carrying.
The fence itself is why the balls aren't carrying?
There's they think there might be some sort of wind factor or something because the Rangers at home are slugging way below average on barreled balls. I think this is going to be in the dead ball segment, but the Rangers just can't hit homers.
I've never heard of this in my life. There's a reverse wind tunnel inside the dome?
Yeah, this totally doesn't seem like people grasping at straws at all.
I might be grasping at straws. It might just be their barrels are weaker than other teams' barrels only at home.
They have soft barrel. Their wood's soft.
Soft.
Hey, yo.
So Globe Life Field, this is an article from The Athletic. Globe Life Field has turned into a hitter's nightmare and the Rangers don't know why. And this was published 3 days ago.
There's a reverse wind tunnel, and that's awesome. Nothing I love more in baseball than a fucking wind tunnel. Because they had one in Texas back in the day, right field. I forgot, what do they call that? What would they call that, man? I'll just call it a wind tunnel. But last year, Cleveland had it too, dude. Cleveland took down a whole, what did they take off? Like an advertisement?
They took out these, shipping containers.
Shipping containers. Which, why the fuck would you have shipping containers?
It was it feels like a very millennial dressing for, the left field area. And they removed it, and suddenly balls are carrying out.
You open up you open up some space for some wind to turn, though. You got a wind tunnel on your hand. But I can see they probably got a reverse wind tunnel because they're hitting the back of the dome coming back in. Well, prayers to the Rangers. It's not like, dude, they had the same stadium when they were good in 2023. But at least they got Degrom, because I love Degrom then. They lose 2 miles per hour on your fastball. And as of now, what's Degrom's ERA?
You got to tee me up for these a little faster. Or slower.
2.08. 3 WAR, 2.08. Yeah, 181 ERA plus with an 881 FIP, bro. Whip. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's his lowest whip ever, unless you count his 15 starts in 2021, which wouldn't be a full season, but I mean, that's still insane. Dude, 2021 Degrom was.
He had a 5-WAR season, and he pitched less 40% of the season. He had a 5-WAR season.
That's crazy. 15 starts, so he had a 5 WAR. Yeah, he was insane. Like, there was no chance. Like, you knew when Degrom pitched, it was like, bro, one run. You're like, there we go.
I remember watching a Braves game that year where he was pitching, and the Braves somehow scored 2 runs off of him. It felt like a major miracle.
I remember where I was. I do. It was raining where I was. I went to dinner or something. That just goes to show. If I remember where I was when that happened, he's a very impactful pitcher. He could be a trade piece, actually. I mean, if the Rangers fall off like this, I mean, they keep playing like this, his contract ends in 2027. So he's under team control next year, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be...
I could see he's making a lot of money. And I could see the Rangers being like, let's do a soft rebuild. We'll trade Degrom. We'll get a lot of pieces back. Maybe we'll even eat half of that money so we can get a good return.
It's
and then they flip it around.
It's also like selling high. Not that, I mean, DeGrom's done this whole career, but like if you would have talked to anyone before this season, you'd be like, that's one of the worst contracts. Like that, the Rangers fucked up with that contract because he's been hurt the whole time and he's been hurt his whole career. But he's got a 2.08.
Yeah, I mean, he's 37 and he's making $37 million a year.
That's crazy. But it's tempting. You see a guy with a 2.0, it's Jacob DeGrom. I'm curious to see what his value would be. There's a lot of teams who need pitching, Mitchell. Actually, it's the opposite because the whole point is that the pitching's unbelievable this year. Have you heard of Misiorowski?
Misiorowski?
Everyone keeps asking me, what's that guy's name? I'm like, Misiorowski.
J-Miz, baby.
How do you say it? Does anyone know how to say it?
Misiorowski.
Good. Thank God Jack's here. Misiorowski. Are you sure it's Misiorowski?
It might be Misiorowski.
Roski's the Polish pronunciation. Roski.
Oh, okay. Misiorowski.
That's why broski works, because it sounds Polish.
Misiorowski. I'm going to say that. Misiorowski versus Paul Skeens. Yo, Paul Skeens versus Misiorowski. I don't understand how quick this guy. I mean, they sold out this game. 42,000 fans. It was a Wednesday at 1 o'clock. They sold the fuck out of this game. And I get Skeens is like Skeens is Skeens. Skeens is a big deal. But Misiorowski, this is his third start ever. I didn't know the hype was that real, bro. And Mitchell did crunch some numbers. And what was the numbers that you crunched? I mean, I got the final data.
So I found the average ticket price for Miller Park or American Family Field or whatever they call it now. And they announced that they were only projecting to have about 28,000 fans come to this game before it was announced that it was Skeens Misiorowski. And so I just multiplied the average ticket price by the extra fans and found that this game probably gave them an extra $760,000 in additional ticket revenue. And that's not even counting like concessions,
parking,
merchandise. I mean, yeah, the stadium is a must. You have to park there. There's nowhere. They have like one bike rack. And I'm like, who's biking to this stadium?
Probably a pussy, because if you ride a bike, you're a bitch.
And then the parking per car is like $25 for the cheapest. So I didn't even crunch those numbers.
Crunch them, Mitch. Get on that.
That's got to be like an extra $1 million.
I know, and the guy's getting,
because of a pitching matchup.
And the guy's getting paid league minimum too. He's getting paid less than $700,000 this year. No, he's getting paid $750,000 this year, and he just made them $768,000 in one start. Misiorowski, but you gotta believe it. Why did I say believe it? But this guy, I mean, so 3 starts now. 3 starts.
Wait,
what are you guys laughing about?
Wait, 1 second.
Misiorowski.
All right, that's not how it's.
That's not how it's said.
You say it, man.
No, I mean
That's
the
not how you say it.
Roski is the important part because he's the AI is saying Missio, which is not how you.
Oh
say
my
it.
God, AI.
I think it's AI. I would
Where?
imagine so.
You
I don't
need to
know
find
what it
a
is, dude.
local poll.
You
We need a
didn't-
broadcast.
You didn't hear that AI is cringe now?
It's bad for the environment.
No,
I begin to understand.
AI is cringe. If you post AI, you're good as washed.
Everyone thinks that you're doing AI. Do you want to address the
Because
allegations?
I'm a beast, bro. We might need to get an AI producer, dude, because the video died. Yeah, last episode. That's all she wrote.
No, I have nothing to say to that.
But Misiorowski.
Misiorowski.
Misiorowski. It's Rowski. I spelled it wrong on this doc. You're probably reading it off this doc.
No, it's Misiorowski. If the only thing I'm sure about is the Rowski, unless he pronounces it crazy. But I think it's Rowski. It's also not very important, but
He says like 5 corrections later.
Jack, you know how much I care about pronunciation. It's important.
pronunciation.
It's one of my favorite things. More like denunciation. I just denounced you from the podcast, so I'm calling the authorities. But Misiorowski, I mean, the guy throws 102 miles per hour, and he's 6'7". Imagine facing this guy. I mean, not to be a betting guy, but I did see that like his strikeout total on this game was 5.5 going in, and I was like, I texted everyone I know. Hate to break it, I didn't text you two because I know you two don't even got it like that, but that was the easiest bet of all time. 5.5. The guy throws 100. What's his average velocity, Mitchell?
His average velocity after 3 games is 99.3.
99. So he averages 100 miles per hour on a fastball. His average slider is 94.5 miles per hour. His average slider is faster than the average major league fastball. That's a slider. I gotta assume the whiff rate is damn near 1,000.
28.7%.
So that's pretty good, right? That's good. Is that good? 28%?
That's good.
I don't even know what the average whiff rate is. But changeup, his changeup, 92.4 miles per hour. That's his changeup. So I know curveball, 87.6. So not only is everything he's throwing just the fastest shit ever, he's 6'7". So if he threw like 90 miles per hour, just from that angle, you're not used to facing a guy 6'7". I mean, for his wingspan is up near the ceiling, and he's stretching out from like 10 feet. So his release point's actually like, I mean, I don't know, 7 feet longer than it would have been, or 14 feet longer. You might have the actual number, like, but what I'm talking about.
I mean, his extension is 7.6 feet.
So just think of that angle. Like you're facing a guy. He's 6'7". He's throwing it from the heavens. His legs, you got to assume, are long as crap, right? So he's stretching it out, and it's like being released probably 3 feet closer than any other pitcher you ever faced. And on top of that, it's 102 miles per hour when he maxes out. Every pitch is at least 99 if it's a fastball. Sorry, that's his average.
So he threw a ball this year against the Twins, 101.9. Really fast, but the perceived velocity is over 3 miles an hour faster at 105.
So I just cannot see anyone hitting him ever.
You know what's hilarious? That ball was hit into play.
Which ball?
The ball with the highest perceived velocity that he threw.
Respected. Who hit that?
Willie Castro, the guy who he broke his ankles on the at bat before.
Oh yeah, that's the best. Yeah, 3 appearances, dude. He's given up 1 hit. Still, just 1 hit for Misiorowski's.
I think he's given up 3. He has as many hits now as wins.
Fuck you, Mitchell. Why are you fact checking me, dude?
I mean, that's what Jack and I are here for,
Oh,
right?
yeah, you're right. My bad.
Jack?
Did you not just spend like 3 minutes?
Brother,
on
y'all
the
could make up a
pronunciation?
player right now. I wouldn't know what the fuck was going on.
3 hits. 3 hits. 3 hits and 3. He's averaging 1 hit per game.
I know he gave up 2 hits his last game, and was like, oh wow, is he washed?
The only thing that can beat this guy is Tommy John. And I know a lot of people are calling out Tommy John for Misiorowski, which, I mean, you know what? You're not a genius saying that. Everyone gets Tommy John nowadays. Is he more susceptible for it because he throws 102? 100% he is. Is he more susceptible to it because he's tall and skinny? I don't know. I think that probably helps that he's tall.
I feel like when you're 6'7" and you don't throw 95, like Ryan Thompson of the Diamondbacks, right? He's throwing like 88,
Yeah.
and you're 6'7". What are you even doing?
Well, and he's also, Ryan Thompson's a sidearmer, ain't he?
I think so. So like you're throwing away all of your like benefits of being as tall as you are. I think he does throw a lot harder than the average 6'7" pitcher, but I think you should expect it to be
Tommy
hard.
John.
No, just to be a hard thrower.
But
at 6'7".
the Brewers are like the best team in baseball right now, the hottest team. They are 2 games back of the Cubs right now. Them and the Cardinals together have been going. Them and the Reds. So we just said the same thing last episode. All these teams, all these NL Central teams are getting hot. Just when we said they suck, they get hot. The Brewers have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the last 10.
Yeah.
And now they just added the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, he's better than Paul Skeens. I'm going to say it right now. He's not better. Is he better than Paul Skeens? Is he better than Paul Skeens?
That particular game, I watched it right after we finished with the podcast. And Paul Skeens didn't look like he was in the same league as Misiorowski.
Yeah, Paul Skeens. But Paul Skeens didn't do terrible. I think it was his shortest start.
It's his shortest start, his second shortest start of his career, but a lot of it was just singles all over
and
the
also
field.
wasn't it some bullshit Pirates bad defense? Like I think he gave up 4 runs, all in 1 inning. He had 1 bad inning, and 2 of them weren't even earned.
Well, I think all of them were, weren't they?
Okay.
But like it was not. He wasn't giving up blasts.
Yeah. Even if they were all earned, there was some sloppy defense, and it all happened in 1 inning. Other than that, I was watching it, but kind of in the background. I just don't think anyone can compete with Misiorowski if he stays healthy and throws strikes. That's going to be the issue. He's a little wild. If he's too wild and he walks guys, you can get in trouble. They are major league hitters at the end of the day. But the Brewers in general, I mean, they didn't even need another starter. The Brewers starters this year, Freddie Peralta, ERA under 3. No one talks about him. Leads the league in wins. Chad Patrick. Where's the segment on Chad Patrick?
He might win Rookie of the Year.
Gotta respect it. 3.51 ERA. 17 starts so far out of the rookie, Chad Patrick. Quinn Priester, a little bit of a project going into the season. It's worked out so far. 3.35. And Jose Quintana, 3.3. And the Rockies are hot, man. I like this Rockies team now. They're kind of fun. Not a lot of star power. I mean, Rhys Hoskins? I don't know. You just looked at Jack like I thought you were going to say something.
No, did you say Rockies?
So
Did I say Rockies?
I think you said Rockies. I was like, did we switch up?
we
No,
also
we're-
said Misiorowski a second ago.
The Misiorowskis.
Got it.
Let's get him to the Rockies. I think he'd be the one guy who could beat Coors.
I mean, if you're throwing a 96-mile-an-hour slider, it doesn't matter if it doesn't move.
Fuck it. So everyone in this lineup is good at hitting for them except for Joey Ortiz and Caleb Durbin, who are below average, but everyone else is above average.
Durbin had a really bad stretch, I think in May, where he was like a negative WRC plus guy. But since then, he's been a decent hitter, and he's a utility guy. So
Bro. And
it's worked out for him.
And I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so because I know coming into the stretch, we have to give them a little bit of a penalty because they just faced the Pirates and Rockies back-to-back. Now they're going against the Mets. And, hey, we're going to talk about the Mets, but the Mets are the worst team on earth. So they're going to sweep the Mets, hopefully, probably. Then they play Miami, which is the opposite. They are the worst team on earth, but they're actually playing like the best team on earth.
I mean, the Miami Marlins are the best team.
Okay, but give them 3
in
days. They'll
baseball.
probably be bad again. But, you know, they got the Mets, then they got the Marlins, then they got the Dodgers, which sucks. But the Nationals. So you got the Nationals, Marlins, the Rockies, and the Pirates in about a 2-3 week stretch. That's a recipe to make some ground on the Cubs, which they have done. You can't pick who you play, Mitch, and they have definitely didn't pick this schedule, but they've taken advantage of it. Moving on to more pitchers, Tarek Skubal, Mitchell's guy. Was hoping that we were going to see him tomorrow because we're going to the Nats game tomorrow as a squad. Podcast doesn't exist live at the Nats game to see the Tigers, Mitchell's favorite team probably now.
Wait, are we actually doing that?
Yeah, we are going tomorrow.
No, I mean the live. Oh, we're not doing a podcast there.
No.
Okay.
we're not gonna do it.
Cool.
Jack was starting to panic.
Yeah, fuck. We got all inclusive beers. We can't even drink any because I got to film these fuckers. Tarek Skubal having one of the best pitching seasons. What did he do last night? I didn't even see the game last night.
He struck out 8 of the first 9 batters.
That's not even impressive. For him.
Ended up with 13 Ks, tied his career high. But the big thing is that he's now 17 starts into his season. He's walked 14 guys. Walker Buehler has walked that many guys in his last 3 games, and that was over like 11 innings.
So he doesn't walk people. That's the secret.
Doesn't walk people, strikes out a lot of people. He's one of, Sarah Langs has it, 5 pitchers in the last 125 seasons to have 125 strikeouts or more and fewer than 15 walks. The other 4 guys are Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, David Price, and Kurt Schilling.
So that means he's good, or what?
Man, if you're one of 5 pitchers to do something really good in the last 125 years, I think that's really, really good.
That means he's the best pitcher in the league, baby. Tarek Skubal. Misiorowski, I'm taking... Actually, no, fuck it. I can't give it to him. I'm giving it to Misiorowski. You're the best pitcher in the league. Sorry, you reversed it. We get reversed their last-second change. Misiorowski's number 1. Tarek Skubal is number 2, though. Respect to Scooby-Doo. And Tigers. But they've been hitting, too. So we got to talk about the Tigers because they also hit. It's not just pitching. I saw they hit like 5 home runs the other day. Kerry Carpenter. What's his splits against lefties? Because that's what I said going into the season. If Kerry Carpenter can hit lefties, he'll be the best player in the league, and the Tigers will be the best team in the league.
I don't think he's done great. He still only has 2 homers against lefties.
Yeah, he's got a 600 OPS.
This year, he's really just like hit homers. He doesn't walk anymore. He doesn't really hit for average. He just hits homers.
Yeah, he's got a 5.11 slugging and an OPS of 800. That's actually really hard. Really hard. Hey, but when you have 16 homers, you're probably pretty good at hitting. Him, Riley Green, they're on the table. We're gonna shoe them in, dude. The Tigers are good this year. I'm gonna say it. All they got to do is not pray that the pitching staff stays healthy.
I mean, recently, like Jack Flaherty's been terrible the last 3 or 4 games, and it doesn't matter. They just keep on winning.
Flaherty's always been kind of hot up and down. Like last year, he was like the best pitcher in the league for a lot of the season, but he's had some bad years.
I mean, I thought he was cooked when he was with the Orioles.
Yeah.
I thought he was done after that.
Yeah. He found it. He's struggling a little bit right now. I still have faith he'll come back, though. Flaherty, we need you. We need you to be the Tigers. Casey Mize, finally at 28, breaks out. I mean, they've been talking about that guy like he was going to be the next pitching star for the Tigers for years.
I mean, he was a 1-1. You expect your number 1 draft pick to do something.
Well, now it's working. Is he going to be a free agent next year? Did he just do this right before free agency?
No. I don't think he debuted until... Yeah, he didn't debut until 2020.
Okay, so he's still an ARB. He's still an arbitration guy. And even Reese Olson with an ERA under 3.
I've missed that part.
It's all hands on deck for the Tigers, man. They got good vibes in Tigers. Javi Baez, we got to check back in on Javi Baez, man. Javi Baez is still amazing here, 120 OPS.
He had a bit of a slump
Plus.
in May, and then he's turned it back around in June. So
that didn't matter.
Season's still on.
Everyone else in that division has totally sucked a dick, so at least we got one good team out of the AL Central. Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah, the Guardians just got swept. The Twins have been terrible. The Royals, ugh. And then you got the White Sox, and their fans are making players cry on the field. They got nothing going for them. Another shutouts. The Phillies. I mean, the Astros and the Phillies just shut each other out for 3 games straight. This was the most ridiculous series ever. First game of the series, I think we covered this first game in the last episode. It was Framber versus Wheeler, and it was basically they both had no-hitters going into like the 8th inning, and then the Astros won that game 1-0. The next day, they beat them again 2-0, so that's 2 in a row. Phillies can't score. Third game, 2-1. So the Phillies scored 1 run in this series against the Astros, and it was on a fucking sac fly by Brandon Marsh.
And it was in the 8th inning. So they really came close to an entire series without scoring a run.
So the Astros just slap-dick the Phillies, shut them down pitching. I mean, the good thing about that for the Phillies, though, is that the Phillies also shut down the Astros. And the Astros have been the best team in baseball. I want to say over the past month, I want to say since like mid-May, them and the Rays have been by far the best team. And the Astros right now, with 50 wins, have the second best record in the American League, which you would have not have guessed because they don't get a lot of airtime. They shut down the Phillies, embarrass them. Then they go into this series against the Cubs. We're going to have to jump a couple pages, but this was a very interesting series because the trade of all trades this offseason, probably the most interesting trade, and we've talked about it plenty of times, when the Astros decided it would be a smart idea to trade Kyle Tucker, their second best hitter, franchise player, for Isaac Paredes, the guy who can only hit home runs, and a little slapdick prospect. And they all been amazing. You got the stats on those 3 guys, Mitchell? because I know you put it in here, but I know you have it on theirs. But all three of them have been amazing.
Yeah, I didn't update it after yesterday, but
Just on the season, like everyone in that trade, it's like the quintessential best trade of all time where everybody gets
yeah.
better.
So this was, I did this yesterday before they played, but Kyle Tucker's had a 4-win season, sixth best player in MLB. Paredes has had a 2.6 WAR season, been a well above average hitter, has as many homers as Kyle Tucker does this year.
Respect.
And then Cam Smith, who had a pretty rocky April when he first came up, he's a rookie. He also has a well above average WRC plus.
It can get rocky.
1.7. Yeah, I mean, he adjusted. He's not like some Red Sox rookie who got sent down after making a lot of money.
Taking shots. Mitchell hates like these prospects who get the big heads, all this hype, and then
No, I think I just hate the Red Sox.
the Red Sox. That's what Mitchell calls them.
But yeah, this is one of the best like win-win trades. Like Kyle Tucker instantly makes an impact for the Cubs, and then the Astros get two guys who are doing really well for them and basically are performing as well as Tucker in the aggregate.
And you got to say right now, I mean, as of now, who wins that? Who won that trade?
I think the Astros won that trade.
The Astros won that trade. Right now, I mean, because you got the prospect on top of that. Now, let's see what Isaac Paredes does moving forward. Who knows if he's still going to play at like this crazy... I mean, he's what position does he play?
Paredes is
DH?
Is he DHing? He's not playing third, is he?
Well, I want to say...
I think he might be playing
Either
third.
way, I don't know. I don't even know what position he plays, but I know that he's had a good enough season where he could arguably be a starter in the All-Star game.
Oh, he's their third baseman. So he replaced Bregman.
Okay, yeah. So you just replaced Bregman. And let's say they had Bregman still. Like they'd be worse off with Bregman and Tucker. If the Cubs had Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman, who have both had great seasons, they'd be worse off. I mean, the Astros front office might just be the smartest front office in sports history right now. I mean, because Bregman's hurt. If Bregman was healthy, then you wouldn't be able to say that. But with Isaac Paredes and Cam Smith, holy moly. But what didn't they do in this series? Because they came back, those fuckers came back to face their old team and embarrassed them.
So the first game, the Cubs just destroyed them. Or no, the first game the Astros won. The second game is when the Cubs destroyed them. Kyle Tucker went 4 for 5. He had a homer. But then Cam Smith and Paredes also hit a homer. Paredes' homer was like very Isaac Paredes. It was a 325-foot homer that barely snuck into the Crawford box.
Respect it.
But that game was 12-3. That was definitely the Kyle Tucker revenge game. And then yesterday, it was a no offense 2-0 Astros win.
But there was a game where all three of them hit a home run, right?
That was the Saturday game.
Yep.
Tucker homered, Paredes homered, Smith homered.
Gotta respect it. This is a good series, bro. Two good teams, man. Two good teams. The Astros. Hunter Brown's best pitcher, but no, he's not. But he's really good. 1.74 ERA. And they're doing it without also Yordan Alvarez. Where's he been?
Rehabbing.
Missing. He's on rehabbing. He has a little bit of an issue. Substance abuse issue. He's addicted to hitting home runs. He hit so many home runs, it hurt his hand, so now he's got a rehab. So he's coming off his home run.
He's
addiction.
coming back soon.
Is that funny, dude? He's having home run withdrawals. I mean, honestly, the guy hit more home runs. Had 3 home runs this year for Yordan Alvarez. He's only played 29 games, but you know he's having home run withdrawals. He's itching to come back and hit a home run. Luckily, they got him in rehab dealing with it, but I think he's about to frickin' relapse because once he gets healthy and Yordan Alvarez comes back and starts hitting bing bongs for the Astros, it's over for you. And also the other guy, I said they're the smartest front office ever, but this other guy they signed, Christian Walker, who was amazing for the Diamondbacks, has been the opposite of that.
They can't sign first basemen, apparently. They had Jose Abreu a couple of years ago, who was the worst player in baseball. They go ahead and they sign Christian Walker. They think, he's won a Gold Glove, really dependable in Arizona, and he's been basically Jose Abreu part 2.
Maybe there's something going on at that first base over there. Maybe the dirt's a little weird.
Probably a wind tunnel.
Could be a wind tunnel at first base.
Just drying out their eyes. They can't see anything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the stadium is a Japanese air conditioning stadium. What is it called?
Daikin Park.
Daikin Park. So maybe that air conditioning is just something over first base. Just drying them out. Well, respect to both these teams. And the Cubs are also getting back Shota Imanaga, or did they just get him back? Either way, both those teams are doing great. But the Phillies, on the other hand, are not. Because the Phillies got shut down by the Astros. We covered that. Then they go to play the Braves. After just going 3 games without scoring a fucking run, they go in Atlanta and just fucking, all right, 13. Easy. It's the Braves. Not even a real team. 13 runs against the Braves on Friday against Bryce Elder, who, the fuck, man?
I mean, I don't have anything.
He was an all-star, bro. Like, the downfall needs to be studied.
This might be, the Braves had 2 All-Stars that year, Orlando Arcia and Bryce Elder. They feel like right now, 2 years later, the most fraudulent All-Stars ever.
Yeah, so it's tough for Bryce Elder, but he came up hot at 23 years old. He had a couple good starts for the Braves, 9 starts in 2022. Then comes in for his sophomore season, which was his real rookie season, right? He probably didn't qualify his first year. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, he did. He would have got Rookie of the Year voting, right? I guess he did qualify.
Oh, he just did the qualification in 2020 by 4 innings.
Interesting. He had a complete game shutout his rookie year.
Against the Nationals.
Yeah, respect.
He was the only Brave that year to have a complete game shutout.
Respect it. And then next year comes up, was an all-star. But since then, 6.52 ERA last year and a 5.82 ERA. He gave up. I don't know how many runs were on him, but I don't know. Honestly,
About 30 of them, I think.
30 runs against the Phillies, and it sucks because remember that game against the Giants earlier? He struck out like 13.
Yeah, and they lost that one too.
And then he came back and he pitched terribly against the Rockies and now the Phillies. But yeah. After that, though, the Phillies got shot. I mean, the Braves lose 2 out of 3 of the Phillies, but the Phillies only scored 2 runs and then 1 run in those second and third games. And I was thinking about it. Are you kind of worried about the Phillies offense?
I mean, they're missing Bryce Harper.
Yes.
That's a big, right now, I don't know how Otto Kemp has done, but I was watching the 2 games this weekend. I'm like, who is playing first base for this team?
Otto Kemp and that 13 run had like 7 ERA, 7 RBIs or something crazy.
But I feel like with the way the Mets and the Braves are playing, the Phillies' biggest fear is the Marlins.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not worried about the Phillies or their playoffs or whatever, but I just think I've looked at the Phillies lineup for the past like 4 or 5 years as like one of the best in the league. But you look, some of these guys, you're not really as scared. You said it coming in this season, Mitch. You got to give Flowers and Mitchell. They're getting a little older. Like, you don't look at JT Realmuto in the box the same way you did a couple years ago.
3 or 4 years ago, you look at him and you're like, that is the best catcher in baseball. Now he comes up and you're like, oh, I'd rather face him than Schwarber or Turner. And once you get through Schwarber and Turner, like, they've got decent hitters. But I'm not really afraid of Alec Boehm.
I'm definitely not afraid of Alec Boehm. And Castellanos is another guy who in the past you would have been afraid of, but, he's had such a hot and cold career, his whole career. So, I mean, who knows? The next month he could go off, but he's looking at a 109 OPS plus right now. I just think, just looking at it, feeling-wise, they're all good hitters. But Castellanos, JT Realmuto, Alec Boehm hasn't really developed into a great hitter. Bryson Stott never really was the scariest hitter. Definitely not this year. Brandon Marsh, not so much. Yeah, but I'm a Phillies fan. I know Phillies fans are looking at their lineup calling them terrible because they always say that.
I think the Phillies pitching staff, the starting rotation is just so good that they can get by scoring 3 runs a game. I think if this is another team, it's more, what's the word? Like a red flag. But like, if you have Schwarber and Turner at the top of that lineup, and then you have your 5 guys in the rotation who all have like, 2 ERAs?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine until they have to play the Dodgers in the playoffs. Then you might not be fine. But that's a good point. Their starting pitchers are so good that they could do whatever they want. For now. Especially when the Mets lose 14 games in a row, as I predicted. So maybe it's time for the league to get glasses. Who was the guy who got glasses this past week? Added to the list of glasses wearers?
I didn't add anyone. I just updated the stats. But
No.
Max Muncy is the most recent.
Okay, so Max Muncy got glasses. He had astigmatism. Now he's got 20/12 vision.
No, he was adamant. He's like, my vision is fine. It's just the astigmatism. And I think I've got to believe him. He was terrible to start the year. I thought it was like time for the Max Muncy downfall. Then he got glasses right when they decided to play the Braves, and he's been the best third baseman ever since then.
Other players to get glasses. Nick Allen, he was batting 173 without glasses. Got glasses, 232. Still not
He went
great.
from being one of the worst hitters in baseball to still being one of the worst hitters in baseball, but slightly better.
But you remember last year when Kike Hernandez wore glasses, he turned it around. He had a 193 without glasses. Now he's got a 238. But that's skewed because you're adding this year.
I am adding.
Last year, it was
Last
a
year was
crazy
much
difference.
better.
The glasses saved Kike last year. Just wait. The glasses. Sean Murphy without glasses, 193 with a 78 WRC plus. Now he's up to league average. So if you're the worst hitter in the league, you get glasses, you'll be average.
I
as
don't
we've
like.
seen.
You have nothing to lose if you're Nick Allen and you're hitting 175. Just get glasses, and then you'll hit 232.
I love how this is becoming like the new meta across MLB. Every team is getting everyone's players' eyes checked, which they should have been doing that forever. But they're like really honing in on the glasses.
Like, I don't understand why this is like a new innovation. You'd think that players go, man, the ball is blurry. Wonder what's going on here.
Well,
Can't
you're-
see the spin.
I mean, you're the man with glasses,
I
so
am.
you could speak to this. But when did you lose your eyesight?
8.
So did you know at 8, like I have bad eyes? Like,
No.
you
but
didn't
then-
know until you got them, right?
But then I was like, wow, I can't believe this is how people function in the world.
What is he like those videos of those like blind kids give them glasses for the first time? They start like freaking out. Like
yeah, I mean, that was me, but 8 years old.
I'd love to see that with Max Muncy. Can we
When
get AI doing that for Max Muncy?
When I first started wearing glasses, I remember being blown away by being able to see individual blades of grass. And I remember asking people like, wait, so y'all can just see the grass at all times? Because I would just see like green area.
And now you can see the curve.
I'm just saying, I think for these guys, it's like it probably wasn't bad enough where they needed to get glasses to get through school, so it's easy to like overlook it. But then, all of a sudden you throw on the glasses and you're like, I can see the fucking lace on the ball. I can see the way it's spinning and that kind of shit. I can see
I
it make a
think
difference.
players should wear glasses even if they have 20/20 vision to increase it.
Yeah,
Because what do you have to lose?
exactly.
You can see it even better.
like think about all the technology that's gone into like bats, gloves, sliders, and shit. Like you could develop the best glasses ever as glasses based on your eye color.
Torpedo glasses?
Torpedo glasses, exactly. Like the exact same shit they're doing with the torpedo bats. Where like you hit the ball here, so we're gonna move the barrel here. You hit the ball here, you hit for average, so you need the weight at here. And there's all this bat tracking shit. There's gonna be eye tracking shit.
Yeah, you're right eye dominant, but you're a switch hitter, so you gotta have this contact lens in this eye when you're hitting left-handed, and then this contact lens for the other eye when you're hitting right-handed. Get your vision normalized,
So
counteract the eye dominance.
I'm gonna make a call out to Michael Conforto needs glasses. Michael Harris.
Michael Harris needs glasses. Any other Michaels?
Michael Harris definitely needs some glasses. Or maybe no one hits because the balls are dead. That could be another thing. Because that's going around the league. Every year the ball is either dead or alive. And this year, it's official. The ball is officially dead. So this year so far, we got the stats on the dead balls. We got guys calling out MLB for dead balls again. Andrew McCutcheon's making some noise. Brent Rooker said something. The Dodgers announcer said something about the dead balls. And then we got people with math degrees. They went into it and they looked at it. Looks like the ball might be dead. So baseballs this year are traveling shorter than they have in 9 seasons. Balls are traveling 4 feet shorter on average. Andrew McCutcheon says the balls are dead. I already said that. Lowest slugging percentage since 2022, which, if you remember correctly, as I do, was also a dead ball year, which was, I think, way bigger of a deal. I remember that being a huge thing, that the ball was dead in 2022. But the ball is dead again. But, however, according to MLB, this is not on purpose, because MLB has acknowledged that the ball is dead. But MLB says they are not doing this on purpose. They admitted the balls are not going as far as they used to, and they can't do anything to fix it. So the dead balls, were stuck with them. Call Blue Chew. The balls are dead. My balls aren't working. I guess that's the wrong company.
What a great time for a plug, though, if we had a blue
I know,
Chew,
right?
dude.
We're the dick pill companies, dude. They sponsor the fuck out of any baseball thing.
You know who doesn't have dead balls?
Who?
No, I'm saying that'd be the intro to your ad.
Oh, me? No. I'll say I struggle with dead balls too, guys. I'm just like you guys. Get your balls checked.
Can you explain dead balls to me real quick?
That's what I was about to do. I got a whole fucking three pages on it.
Hell yeah.
So what happens if you have dead balls? You can't have children. So what you do is you go to the doctor and you take a pill. I don't even know how you cure dead balls. But in baseball, balls do be dying. This has been pissing off players for about a decade, actually. 2019, you remember Justin Verlander came out saying, this quote blows my mind. I do not remember Justin Verlander just being this much of a savage. In 2019, Justin Verlander came out. This is kind of the start of the dead or juice ball, in at least the modern sense. This is when MLB started juicing or deadening the balls. 2019, Justin Verlander comes out saying, quote, Major League Baseball is turning this game into a joke. They own the fucking company. We all know what happened. Manfred, we said we want more offense. All of a sudden, he comes in. The balls are juiced. It's not a coincidence. We're not idiots. What is he referring to? In 2017, MLB bought Rawlings. That's the company that makes the baseballs. And this was just 2 years after Rob Manfred took over commissioner. If you remember 2019, I know you remember, Jack, 2015, actually. You were not watching baseball. You know why you weren't?
Too many fucking dead balls, brother.
Exactly. Viewership was down. Time of game was up. Offense was way down in 2015. Manfred took over and was open, said it publicly, I want to increase offense. What happened? From 2014 to 2017, home runs were up 46%. How does that happen? How did the fucking home runs go up 46%, Mitchell? Was it glasses?
Was it the seams, the leather, the cork?
I don't know.
What was it, Joey?
Maybe they were just swinging harder. Change of approach. I was probably the balls. Everyone thought it was the balls. Verlander thought it was the balls. Dallas Keuchel came out, said the balls were juiced. Jake Arrieta thought the balls were juiced. And then after 2 years, so in 2015, when Manfred came in, offense was down. People were talking about the offense was down. In 2017, they had an MLB record for home runs in a season. So more home runs were hit in 2017 than any year in baseball before that. More than the steroid era. That's what a lot of casuals don't understand. You know, you talk to people and they're like, oh, dude, bring back steroids. Like, baseball was so much better with steroids. It was like
maintaining my strength and my stamina during the whole year.
Exactly. And that's what steroids, they help you do it. But 2017 was more home runs in the steroid era. So was 2019. No one ever goes, oh, bring back 2017. That was the best year in baseball history. The only thing I remember about 2017 baseball is that Astros were cheating. Astros were cheating big. But either way, so they hit the league record for home runs. Everyone says the ball is juiced. They were right. Study found that in 2017, the lace thickness of the ball was on average 9% thicker than balls in 2014. So that led to a 46% increase in offense, in home runs. 9% increase in lace thickness. That's it. That's how small of a change that is. MLB admits there was a change in the ball. So what did the MLB do? What would you do, Jack? The laces are too thick. What would you do?
If the laces were too thick,
Yeah.
I'd make them thinner.
You got to thin the laces, my man. These balls are going way too hard. They're too bouncy or whatever the fuck. So that's what they did. Just what Jack said. I'm going to decrease the laces. MLB decreases the lace thickness, which decreased the height of the laces. Guess what? Juiced them even more. Fuck. You know? Everyone on Twitter says the laces are too thick. All right, we'll lower the laces. That made the ball more aerodynamic and accidentally made the ball even more juiced. In 2019, that was the most juice the ball ever got. 10 players hit 40 home runs in 2019. 53 players hit 30 or more home runs. You want to know some players who hit 30 home runs that year? Paul DeYoung, Yuli Gurriel, Rougned Odor, bro. The guy who punched Jose Bautista in the face. 30 home runs in a season for Rougned.
I'm looking at some of these names. I'm like, really? They hit 30?
Hey, for a guy who mispronounces everything to get Rougned like 3 times in a row, can I get some claps? I mean, holy shit, man.
You used to ask yourself for claps?
Yeah, Rougned Odor. Who knows that name? Me. I mean, everyone knows his name, but it's a tough name to pronounce. It's pronounced Rougned. Randall Gritchett had 30 plus. Eddie Rosario had 30 plus. Cole Calhoun, 30 plus. Austin Meadows, 30 plus. Most of those guys aren't still around the league, but in 2019, they were hitting home runs like everybody else. 4 out of the top 5 team home run seasons in history happened in 2019. So, of the 9 teams that hit, okay, so I don't know how to explain this in a better way. So, look at how many home runs a team hits in a year. The 9 most ever, 4 of those 9 were in the same year, 2019. Most home runs hit in any season in baseball history, 2019. Only 2 seasons ever featured a league-wide slugging percentage higher was in 2000. That was during the steroid era. And in 1894, that was before World War I. We will not count it. That was, 1894. Holy shit. That ball was juiced as fuck in 1894. Balls were 100% livelier than they were in previous seasons. But when asked, Rob Manfred said, quote, "I know with absolute certainty the baseballs are within specified limits." And he was right, because that's the problem. 2 MLB baseballs. And this is kind of the crux of the situation when everyone says the balls are juiced and whatnot. So if you take 2 MLB baseballs, they could both be under regulation. All the specs, everything's great. Everything's legal. These are 2 regulation baseballs. One could go 50 feet further than the other. And they're both regulation. Because no 2 baseballs are the same, guys. They're all handmade, and they're all use ingredients from all over the world. They got cows. They get the cows from Pennsylvania. They get the cowhide. They produce that in Tennessee. They get the wool from New Zealand. They get the yarn woven in Massachusetts. The rubber's from Mississippi, and the mud is from a secret river in New Jersey. So can't you see that would be a problem to keep everything the same? You just sourced fucking 17 ingredients from 17 different parts of the world.
Hold on, you just dropped like the sickest adventure of all time. There's a secret river that makes baseballs, and we aren't going to go find this river?
They've been trying for decades, Jack.
We could find it.
There's a lot of videos of it.
Work trip to New Jersey? Let's do it.
Dude, that would be a funny video. We get shot, bro. They guard that river like it's the fountain of youth.
Well, then we know we found it. If there were a bunch of guards around this river in New Jersey, we've hit it.
Well, there's a secret river in New Jersey where they mud all the baseballs. And who knows? I mean, if 9% lace thickness is the difference between a 46 increase in home runs, let's say one year the cows are a little cold. Their hair doesn't grow out as long as it used to be. I'm sure that could affect the hardness of the hide. I don't know. You're a cow guy, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, I think like heat, global warming, all these things could affect cowhide. As the cowhide expert, can we bring this back 1 second? Didn't even know there were rivers in New Jersey. Doesn't even sound like that's a real thing. There's got to be, what, 2 of them?
There's
we
a
could
couple.
fucking find it, bro.
Delaware River. Delaware River. That's where the mud comes from. Who would have thought there's a Delaware River in New Jersey? There's also one in Delaware. I'd assume it's the same river.
I'd assume
it's the same river. I'm not a river expert, but
I mean, Delaware leads the league in rivers, brother.
Counting like 3. How hard could it be?
dude, there's more than 3 rivers in New Jersey. I'll bet my life on that.
Bro, this guy's always playing that fucking geo tracking game, whatever it is. What's it called?
Who, Mitchell?
GeoGuessr.
Bro, he could geo guess his way to that river.
I'm not that good.
Anyway, sorry.
How many rivers are there in New Jersey? Lists of rivers in New Jersey. I mean, there are more than 3, but there aren't that many. Some of these are called brooks. Are we counting those as rivers?
Brooks? No.
Are brooks rivers? I don't know.
I never heard of a brook. Never been to a brook. I've been to a river,
Creek?
not a brook.
I'm not counting a creek as a river.
Obviously not. It's a creek. It's not a river. You want to know another crazy stat? In 2015, studies found that the balls in the second half of the season were a half gram lighter than the balls in the first half of the season. Okay, so a half gram difference in the rubber ball led to the highest second half increase in offensive history, in MLB history. A half gram difference in the fucking weight of the rubber inside the ball. And like I said, so if any of those 6 ingredients, the cows are from Pennsylvania, the cowhides produced in Tennessee, the wool is from sheep in New Zealand, the yarn's woven in Massachusetts, the rubber's from Mississippi, and the mud's from a secret river in New Jersey. If one of those fuckers fucks up a little bit, that could just change the ball forever and turn into the worst offensive season ever. MLB admitted that was a problem in 2021. If you remember, after 2017, balls were juiced. 2018, balls were still juiced. 2019, the balls were fucking really juiced. 2020 was a shortened season, but the balls were flying too then. So MLB comes out and says, fuck it, man. We got to admit it. These balls are flying like crazy. We are doing a conceited effort to make the balls go less. What is conceited? Not the word.
Concerted.
Concerted effort. Thank you. A concerted effort and to make the balls go less far. And it worked. 2022, the balls were dead. April 22 saw a 54% decrease in homers from 2019. Runs per game were as low as they had been since 1980. So balls were juiced. 2022, they're de-juiced. And now they were, I don't know if they ever got juiced again, but now they're de-juiced again. They're dead again in 2024. And let me go through the history of juice balls and not. And this is just what I found a couple years ago making a video on this. Article in 1929. There was speculation that MLB balls were juiced in 1929. It was a whole thing. You guys weren't alive before your time, but everyone was talking about the juice balls of 1929. 9 years later, 1938, speculation that the balls were deadened in 1938. 1944, there was a speculation that they were juiced again. Okay? Fast forward 10 years, 1954, more speculations that the balls were juiced again. 1969, more speculation, the balls were dead. 1979, speculation that MLB juiced the balls again. 1987, more speculation that the balls were juiced again. And in 1994, a lot more speculation that the balls were juiced. But it wasn't just the balls, it was the players. But, so yeah, this is nothing new, dude. The balls are either dead or juiced. It's the nature of the ball, baby. That's what people don't understand, too. This is the craziest thing. I think Babe Ruth is a juice ball merchant. Like, if Babe Ruth played like 5-10 years before, he'd have no home runs. Babe Ruth in 1918, Babe Ruth, he led the league in home runs with 11 home runs. He led the league. He had 11 home runs. He's 23 years old. That was the most home runs in the league. 11. Next year, 29 home runs. 2 years after that, 54 home runs. So, like, he led the league 3 years in a row. First year, he led the league with 11. 2 years later, he had 54. Do you think that he was just, eating too many hot dogs? No, the balls, it's the dead ball era, dude. This is documented. The balls became livelier.
Wasn't his bat like 3 times the size, though?
His bat was like 75 ounces.
Pause.
I guess. Do.
All I'm saying is, the balls were juiced back then, and they were juiced now. Same thing with the steroid era. They dissected the balls that during, like, was it Mark McGwire's when he was on that home run tear? Some guys, they bought a lot of those balls and dissected them, and like they have like the proof that all those balls were juiced. You ever hear about that?
No.
You looked at Jack. Like, yeah. You ever heard about that, Jack?
The juice balls was during Jack's time.
1998?
This was during Jack's time. Maybe he was a 5-year-old watching that home run chase.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's do a baseball quiz for Jack.
Hit me.
What was the home run chase of 1998? Summer of 98. Who were competing in that? Who were the two players hitting those bombs, competing for the record?
Barry Bonds and I feel like I'm picturing the other person I'm thinking of, and I can't remember who it is.
So close.
And Tiger Woods nailed it. Y'all think I don't know ball, bro?
Those are both wrong. It was Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa was the correct answer.
What did I say?
You don't remember Slammin' Sammy?
I remember Sammy Sosa, yeah.
What do you remember? What's the one thing you know most about Sammy Sosa?
Maintaining my strength and my stamina during the whole year.
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa didn't do steroids?
He did.
Okay.
The answer I was looking for was he's white now. I want to know, like,
but now he's not anymore.
I did see that he's like reversed it.
I've seen the light skin pics and all
I know.
that.
I want to know, is Sammy Sosa like more famous for like being the white guy now than the home runs? Like, I feel like that was a big deal.
I feel like if you weren't alive or you weren't watching baseball before Sammy Sosa's career like ended, that's got to be all you know him for, right?
Being the white guy?
Yeah, the guy who got really white all of a sudden.
We got to call the Gen Z viewers in the See what they know about.
How do you know about Sammy Sosa?
Oh, yeah, the white guy. Anyway, back to the juice balls, the dead balls.
I mean, he doesn't look like a white guy. His facial structure is still the same, but he does look terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Well, they just had him back. The Cubs they were building a statue for him, so he's back in good graces with the franchise. There was a while.
What metal are they using for that? Bronze or steel, brother?
That's everyone's wondering. Everyone's imagine they just made a white Sammy Sosa. He requested it. Like, no, I actually prefer being white. So anyway, as I was saying, listening through from 1929 until 1994, every 5 to 10 years, there was all this speculation that the ball was either juiced or dead. This is nothing fucking new. But now that we have StatCast, that happens every year. Every year, the ball is either dead or alive because every ball is tracked so closely. We know this year from the data, the ball is definitely dead from recent seasons. You can measure how hard something hit. So basically what happens is, like, now with StatCast, every single time a ball is hit, you know the exit velocity, you know the angle that it's hit at. So if a ball is hit at the same exit velocity, at the same angle, at the same park, but one goes 50 way further than the other one, you could assume that if that happens a fucking bunch of times, that one ball is dead and one is juiced. And that's basically where we are today. That's what you would call drag on a baseball. This year's drag is the most drag since you were able to track it, which was 2015. So these balls might actually be more dead than they were in 2022, which is concerning because that was a big deal. However, the offensive league-wide numbers are basically identical this year than they were in 2023, and that's just average slugging on base percentage. I'm not sure about home runs. I know MLB threw out a stat that said that it was actually fly balls to home runs ratio or something weird was actually up this year from last year, which, to be honest, isn't saying much because offense was actually down a lot last year. Either way, compared to 2023, all offensive numbers are down. Compared to the juice balls of 2017 and 2019, they're down a lot. And the ball changed. The ball is dead now. That's why MLB bought Rawlings, is to fix that. They didn't work. I guess it worked maybe a little bit. The question is whether doing it on purpose or not. I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I think that even if they didn't try to do it on purpose, it would still happen. Like I said, with everything changing and how, like, these balls are just one small change makes such a big difference. They also put humidors in each stadium. That was another thing to try to even out all the layers, but it's like a never-ending quest to make two baseballs identical, and it's impossible to do it. We still haven't figured it out. The balls are constantly changing.
But if they're consistent during a season, who gives a fuck? I understand that, you were hitting homers last season and now you're not and you're pissed. But if it's consistent, the game doesn't change.
Everyone's playing with the same ball.
But it's not always consistent. There were some reports back in, what, was it 22? The Goldilocks year?
And 2022, yeah.
So a researcher found that there were like 3 different types of baseballs being used. One was the ball that MLB was trying to use to deaden it back again. One of them was like a special occasion. So that year there were 2. Was it just Pujols, or were they also doing it for Cabrera?
It was Judge, wasn't it?
But then there were the Goldilocks balls for just Judge, and they were only found at Yankees games. Like the non-special event marked balls. There were a few players who were getting like balls specially marked, so if they hit a home run, they would know. But then the Yankees had like these Goldilocks balls that were kind of in between a juice ball and the dead ball.
That went further than the others.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't in between.
It was in between, but it was going further than all of the other 2019 stadiums balls.
My pushback on that, because I remember that story, and why I think that's a little... I mean, maybe MLB was giving Aaron Judge juice balls, but based on when those balls are made, like, the special event balls are going to be probably made at the same time, the same factory, the same batch of materials or whatever. Those balls are probably going to be way closer together than a group of balls that was made 3 months ago. So, like, they probably just... good chance they just so happen to be more juice than last month's group of balls.
I mean, yeah, I don't buy into the fact that like MLB has this conspiracy where they have these specially marked balls and they have their whole production assembly line going, these balls are going to New York City and only New York City. But it is interesting that like only the Goldilocks balls were found in Yankee Stadium and nowhere else.
Yeah. It's also interesting how these balls are just never the same. They're constantly changing. Nonstop. And there's nothing MLB can do about it.
I mean, it makes sense though. If you're hand sewing a baseball, there's always going to be variations from ball to ball.
Yeah, and think about how the slight difference makes that much of a like. You hit a ball, you throw a ball at that speed, you hit it at that speed, at that angle and spin, like, like I said, half a gram. That could be like 100 feet difference.
There's so many factors in baseball though, bro. Because like bats, like there's no way. Like I mean, everything from like the sun, the humidity that day, what the dirt is up to, what everyone's feelings are. Like, how the fuck do you ever try to make it consistent? It just seems like a lost cause.
And that's what's lost in all of this. Like, I feel like they said the balls are dead, but I just feel like, it's been such a stressful year in the news and everything. Players are getting death threats. Maybe they're just not hitting as hard. It's just the vibes are down across the league. Like, players are worried about hecklers and stuff. I don't think they're doing it on purpose, like Justin Verlander said. He said it's a complete fucking embarrassment. Well, guess what, Justin Verlander? You're an embarrassment. You haven't won a game all year, motherfucker.
We need to get our hands on a dead ball and a juice ball and see if we can tell the difference.
You would not be able to tell the difference. But there are a lot of people who do that. What's her name? Meredith Wills. That's all she does is collect balls and analyzes them. She's a physicist. The market is cornered. But moving on. Sorry to Justin Verlander. I didn't actually mean that. He is an MLB legend. He, however, is not pitching very well this year. I think he's like 13 starts in. Still hasn't gotten his first win for the Giants, who have been absolutely dog shit. Excuse my French. Sorry. Since trading for Devers. I thought that was going to be a big help for them. But
killed both the Red Sox and the Giants.
Yeah, they both have been terrible. Jack's Marlins sweep the Giants. How did that feel, Jack?
Pretty good, dude.
I mean, you guys got a lot. You guys got a lot of good stuff going on there. You guys sweep the Giants, which was extremely embarrassing for the Giants. Let me check out what the Giants playoff probability is right now, just off the graph, because I want to say it's probably been 2 weeks since Devers got traded. Do we know what day Devers got traded?
It was a Sunday. 2 Sundays ago. So what would that be? The 15th, the 16th? I think it was the 15th.
It was, yeah. It was Father's Day, the 15th. Buy your dad a Ridge wallet. So since June 15th, the Giants went from a 64% chance to make the playoffs to a 41% chance. That is a 20% dip, and they've lost these teams. It's not like they've been having tough opponents. I mean, they started that off against the Dodgers, and they lost that first game without Devers, with that game on Father's Day. Then they played, I forgot who they played after that.
They played the Guardians.
The Guardians lost 2 out of 3 to the Guardians. Then they played the Red Sox, and that was their series win. 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox. Felt good about that. Then they go against the Marlins and get embarrassed by the Marlins. I mean, the Marlins swept them on the road, too. Swept them. And then they go and play the White Sox, who are worse than the Marlins. And you lose 2 out of 3. You lose a series to the White Sox. I mean, going into that, we're playing the Marlins and the White Sox. Let's go. Time to catch the Dodgers. Nope. Not happening for the Giants. Same thing with the Red Sox, though. I mean, we should probably wait to get to the Red Sox. Oh, why not? Let's just talk about the Red Sox. How have they been doing since the Devers trade?
Absolutely terrible. They've won 4 games. They had a nice win on Saturday against the Blue Jays, which feels really nice when you have an offense that's been one of the worst offenses since you traded Devers. They scored 15. Other than that, I think I had it that they're 4-8 since trading Devers, which goes against what Craig Breslow said. We're going to win more games than we would have otherwise. And offense has been their big issue, so it's pretty clear the cause and effect of their struggles.
And it sucks because they were so hot before they traded him too. I mean, they won like 8 out of their last 10. They were gaining on the Yankees. Then they come in and they lose. They got swept by the Angels, bro. You don't want to get swept by the Angels. What's worse, getting swept by the Angels or then getting swept by the team in your division who you're literally competing with for a wild card spot and a division? I mean, the Blue Jays are probably the closest team to the Red Sox. I would say like the Red Sox kind of catching up to the Yankees feels like not their current goal right now, how down bad they are, but like at least we could beat the Blue Jays. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Blue Jays. Get smacked by them 9-0. What is going on in Red Sox land? At least they have a Aroldis Chapman that they can trade. And Jarren Duran.
You actually think they're going to trade Duran?
I don't know. What would you do if you're the Red Sox?
I would trade my best player for a bunch of no names and a bad contract.
Yeah, but I mean, Jarren Duran, is he really that good? He's not playing good this year. He's a league average hitter. I mean, last year he was amazing, but there's not like he's had a long history of being a good player.
I mean, his WAR was elevated last year because he was playing center field. Like, he still had a really good season. I want to discount that. But he was playing center field, and you get points for being an above-average defensive player in center field. If you're an above-average defensive player in left field, you're not as valuable, and the Red Sox have moved him to left. So I think a team could sell him on, like, yeah, the WAR is low, but I don't think front offices are caring that much about WAR anyway. But overall, like, his numbers this year have been dragged down because he's playing left instead of center. He's still an average hitter, which if you're above average defender, average hitter who can play center field, that's a pretty good player.
Last year he was 8th in MVP voting. So I don't want to hear, oh, you're an average hitter. That's all right. Well, we can still get some good stuff for him. I don't know. You get one. He's going to be a free agent after next season. I just think it's hilarious that the Red Sox fans just seem like they're so down to trade Jarren Duran all of a sudden. Like they just want to like sell everybody.
Well, once you break that glass and you trade Devers, everyone can be traded, right?
Trade everybody.
There's no concept of an untradeable player.
I know. But then now Breslow's coming out saying they're buying at the deadline. He said it like 3 times.
I mean, I'm sure he's planning on buying at the deadline, but I wouldn't put him past it to trade more of the cornerstone players.
Yeah. I mean, what do they need at the deadline? Pitching?
Hitting?
And what about pitching?
I mean, Buehler's been bad, but like if the problem over the last couple of weeks since their cold streak has started has been hitting, you'd think they might need. But yeah, I don't even know what hitting you would get because you're still waiting on Yoshida to come back.
I saw a clip of him running. That's encouraging. So right now, I mean, the season, granted, this is now they don't have Devers, so you don't really expect them to be as good of an offense. But they are 8th in runs as a team. Their starting pitching is 22nd. Walker Buehler might get released. How long did they sign Walker Buehler for, and what's he been like?
I think this was a 1-year deal, right? Yeah, 1-year deal with a mutual option. He started off really nice. I think he had like a 4 ERA, like a slightly above average pitcher. Then he went on the IL, and he's been terrible ever since. I'm going to see if I still have the splits open.
And then he said he what? So he comes out and lays a fucking shit performance. I don't know what he did, but terrible performance. And they ask Alex Cora if he's hurt. Cora says, nope, 100% healthy. He's not hurt. Then they ask Walker Buehler, are you hurt? He goes, I don't want to talk about it.
So yeah, before he got injured in May, he had a 4.28 ERA, 3.72 xFIP, 4.26 FIP. The big thing was he wasn't allowing walks. He had a 2.41 walk rate per 9 and a 1.34 homer per 9. Since then, he has an 8.59 ERA, a 7.44 FIP. He's walking 6 batters per 9 innings and allowing 2.5 homers per 9 innings.
Yikes.
That's like, I'm surprised they haven't just cut him loose.
Yeah, you want to talk about death threats. You go to that guy's DMs right now, oh my God.
Not pretty.
Bro.
And it's not with his original team. I feel like some fan bases are a little more loyal if you've come up and you're from that. If you're a first-year free agent signing, they have no loyalties whatsoever.
In Boston, bro, Walker Buehler. I mean, this guy's DMs, dude. There got to be security outside his house at all times. I'm just gonna tweet his fucking name right now. Search his name. I bet I can find some mean things people are saying to him. Well, not really. Just kind of a lot of memes. Well,
I mean, it's the DMs that you really have to see.
It's the DMs. It's going down in the DMs. It goes down. It goes down in the DMs. That's 2 Tommy Johns for you, man. Because it's a double whammy for Walker. Walker Buehler's 30 years old right now, and he was one of the best pitchers in the league before his second Tommy John. But we've ran the numbers on 2 Tommy Johns are terrible. Very few people come back from 2 Tommy Johns. And last year, coming back from 2 Tommy Johns, he did not pitch well in the regular season. But in the playoffs, he had an amazing playoffs. I think his overall numbers don't look that great, but that was because of one outing where he gave up like 7 runs, and a lot of them were kind of not really his fault. But like the Dodgers probably don't win the World Series without him. They don't win that Padres series. So you got a guy coming off 2 Tommy Johns. Then you also got him pitching probably more innings than he should on short rest in order to win a World Series. And that's just a recipe for your arm to be cooked.
Yeah, I mean, he was the last guy out of the Dodgers bullpen. I think when they had that celebration podcast, the Dodgers said like there was no one else in the bullpen. He was our only option for that Game 5. And he won the thing for him.
Starting and relieving.
But they had no other arms left.
Yeah. You see that a lot. He wouldn't be the first one to come off a deep playoff run and never be the same. On top of 2 Tommy Johns, yeah. It's a little concerning for Walker Buehler and the Red Sox. But you know what? Keep your head up, Red Sox. There's always tomorrow. But I think you guys are probably cooked, bro. Deadass. I'm off the Reds. I'm on the Rays, bro. The Rays are a different story. The Rays, Jack, what do you got to say, bro? It's a victory lap?
I don't have anything to say about the Rays.
Wander Franco went off this weekend, dude.
8-1-3, baby.
Do you think they got to give him more at bats? This new guy you guys got, Wander Franco?
Nah, dude, give him less at bats.
Why?
I think they should actually move him to catcher and make him exclusively catcher. Don't even let him bat.
These guys get smarter. But
no, I don't think he recognizes the name though.
He definitely has no idea what we're talking about.
No idea.
Poor Jack.
Too busy trying to keep track of time.
Second week in a row getting Wander Franco.
Well, Wander Franco has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for a relationship in the minor in the Dominican Republic. So I'm glad justice would be served. But I'll go ahead and assume that Wander Franco is never going to be an MLB again because I didn't read the court case, but I think he's a certified freak of all freaks.
I'm not going to be surprised if this isn't the last court case he has to go to. Because didn't he get arrested for like gun charges too? Yeah.
But I heard he's not even having to go to prison. It's like 2 years suspended sentence or something.
Yeah, the victim's mom got more prison time than Franco, which is so dumb.
What do you mean? I mean, that's disgusting, dude. I guess it's dumb. I don't know the details of the case, but I mean, I saw that take too that this lady is like getting but like, bro, like sounds like she was like pimping her out. 14-year-old, like she was getting paid by Wander Franco, knowing that her daughter had a relationship with a guy who's like, well, how old was he? 20 something? She was 14.
Feels like the type of thing we shouldn't speculate unless we know.
Yeah, you're probably right, Jack.
I do think that sometimes you get bumped up to the majors and you miss the minors.
Spoken like a true Tampa Bay Rays fan. Got to stick with your guys. All right, Jack likes Wander Franco still. But your Pirates also swept the team, didn't they? Did the Pirates just beat? Oh, the Mets. We'll get to
No, I'm like a big Marlins guy. I actually don't even. Are the Pirates a baseball team?
The Pirates are a baseball team, and they just swept the mighty Mets. But we were talking about that. We're talking about the Blue Jays. And
No, we were talking about the Rays.
Oh, yeah, the Rays. The Rays. Well, I don't have the stats in front of me, but the Rays are about to overtake the Yankees. How much are the Rays down back right now? The Rays, I want to say, haven't really lost a series since mid-May. Since May 19th, they have the best record in baseball, tied with the Astros. Still, to this day, a team of NPCs. But just wait, dude. I'm telling you, if the Rays keep playing like this,
They the timing. They just lost the series to the Orioles.
oh yeah, that's what it was. That's why I knew it because they've lost 2 series to the Orioles. Like since May 19th, the only series they've lost were to the Orioles, and they had an insane series against the Orioles where they had a 6-run lead against the Orioles and blew a 6-run lead. Ended up losing 22-6. The big bad Orioles offense is back, 22-6, and this guy Kobe Mayo, underrated name, Kobe Mayo, one of the funniest names to me, Kobe Mayo.
Sounds like a sandwich.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's another Florida kid.
Kobe beef mayonnaise. You ever get some Kobe beef, put some mayonnaise on it, then you got the outfielder for the Baltimore Orioles hits a home run off a position player, first major league home run, and what a reaction. You ever see someone mad he hit a home run? He was annoyed he hit a home run.
Josh Naylor. It's a club of 2
yeah.
this year.
Yeah. So the Orioles beat the Rays, which is good for them, but I mean the Orioles are cooked, but the Rays, I'll still chalk it up to a win for the Rays.
I saw this guy on TikTok who went to that 22-6 game, and he was doing the 999 challenge. And of all the games to do a 999 challenge, a game where there's 28 runs is like the perfect environment.
I saw that video too. He didn't need the time. That guy was a big boy.
I think he finished in the 4th inning.
Yeah. I mean, 9 beers. I get that all the time. Like, do the 999 challenge, bro. I'd get 3. I might be able to do a 3-3-3.
Jack, you wanted to try
Is
tomorrow?
it 9 beers an inning?
9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 9 innings.
A beer and a hot dog every inning for 9 innings.
Bro, I'm at 9 hot dogs, I'm done. First of all, I also can't eat gluten. So 9 hot dogs and 9 beers would literally ruin my life.
Bro, we're going to the Diamond Club. We got all you can eat hot dogs, all you can eat beers, bro.
I can't consume either of those.
Jack, 1-1-1 challenge. Just 1 hot dog and 1 beer.
And
for
no
Jack
bathroom breaks
Schwartz.
allowed.
Listen, I can do it. No bathroom breaks is tough, but 2 days from now, I'll have some issues.
Imagine just doing the 999 challenge, but like in a box seat. Just in the most fancy.
I mean, I think
thing
I'd
ever.
get surgery.
Shit in your pants, just blackout drunk in the freaking.
It's kind of the opposite. I'd never shit again.
Respect it. Wouldn't that be a plus? If I could press a button, never have to shit again, I'd do it, man. That's a waste of time. But the Rays, on the other hand, they're shitting all over teams, dude. They're shitting like crazy. Diarrhea on team. And the thing about the Rays, the Rays haven't had like 1 pitching injury all year or something crazy, which is insane.
The Rays?
Yes, the Rays. The Rays.
I don't believe you.
The Rays have had like, I want to say like 5 or 6 guys start games. Like all their starting staff has stayed healthy this whole time. And mind you, they're getting back Shane McClanahan. He hasn't pitched all season. And on paper, he'd be your best starter. So it's time to take him seriously.
If I saw that in the doc, I would have like tried to fact check you. I can't believe that. No starting pitching injuries aside from McClanahan, but that doesn't count because of spring training.
So you know what? I'm going to make it a point to actually start paying attention to the Rays more because I still to this day really couldn't tell you the starting lineup at all.
Chandler Simpson's back. You saw?
Yeah, Chandler Simpson is back. I love that. But there's guys like Jake Magnum style. He's had a great year for the Rays. Know nothing about Junior Caminero is like going to be rookie of the year.
Jonathan Aranda has been like the best first baseman in baseball, but he didn't get any All-Star votes because no one knows who he was.
Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Sorry, all the Dodgers are going to the All-Star game. You can't, even though that's a different league, but it still applies. Still applies. So the Rays are doing good. The Blue Jays have been doing good. The Blue Jays just sweep the Guardians, and they get in a fight, dude. You saw this fight?
Just like the Ramirez part.
So they hit Vladdy, and you don't want to hit Vladdy. That's their star player. They hit Vladdy, and he leaves the game. So what do? They say, you know what, we're going to hit your player. They hit Jose Ramirez. He leaves the game. They both get hit in the hand. Could you imagine if both of them were just out for the season based on this little beef they had? A beef between the Guardians and the Blue Jays? Like, no offense.
That'd be the lamest way to end 2 players' seasons.
I know, right? It didn't even get that much coverage. No offense. But I'm sorry. The Blue Jays did not sweep the Guardians. The Guardians got swept by the Cardinals, who are another hot team. But yeah, the Guardians have not been playing good baseball. Sorry to the Guardians fans. but they have not. Going back to the Blue Jays, though, Scherzer's coming back. Mitchell,
He's back.
do you feel like he actually has a chance to be good? Because there's nothing I'd love more than Max Scherzer coming back strong. Like
His first start was pretty mediocre, but when he's been healthy, the few times he's been healthy this year, or like in the past, since he was a Met, he's been really good. But then his thumb falls off his hand and his whole body explodes.
Yeah, the question is how healthy are you, Max Scherzer? Because you haven't really been healthy since. When was the last healthy Max Scherzer season? Was it
when he was with the Nationals and Dodgers, right? 30 starts, yeah.
Yeah, the Dodgers. But then remember, it was the Mets and the Dodgers. Oh yeah, sorry, 2021. That was this, but he's in the playoffs. Remember, he was hurt. He didn't pitch against the playoffs and against the Braves.
He did. He was terrible.
Yeah, because he was battling with injuries, and they came out. He had to skip a start. They pushed his start back. He was hurt, but wasn't hurt. He didn't miss any starts, but they had to push it back. Either way, it's been 6 years. He's 40 right now. I would love to see Scherzer just take these Blue Jays to the promised land. I would love it. Between Scherzer, Verlander, and Kershaw, who would you rather have?
Charlie Morton. I'd take Scherzer over the other three.
Scherzer over Kershaw?
When they're on the mound, I think Scherzer's still that guy. It's just the fact that Scherzer keeps missing months at a time.
I got news for you, Mitchell. You might have to fact check me on this one because you're not going to believe it. His last 5 starts, Clayton Kershaw, 2.28 ERA. If you take out his first start where he gave up 5 runs in 4 innings, this guy has a 2.08 ERA.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep.
The Cardinals pissed him off.
Yeah, Kershaw has a 3.03 this year. And that's over 8 games. So 8 starts. It's not like it's a small sample size. I mean, that's small, but it's not like 3 starts. Like 8 starts. He's only really had one bad one.
Yeah, I mean, since the Cardinals decided to piss him off with an 11-year-old playoff highlight where no one else is on the same team except for him, he has a 1.57 ERA.
Kershaw with the curve, baby. What you say about Scherzer is a lot more true with Kershaw. Where Kershaw has been washed since 2020. He's been in the washed category because he's hurt every year. But his ERA since 2020, 2.86.
I do love how he's missing literally half of the season, then he comes back and he's like, oh yeah, this guy is really good. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he hasn't had more than he's not pitched more than 131 innings in a year since 2020. Yes. So he's been hurt the whole time. The narrative is time for Kershaw to hang it up, or when is he going to hang it up? Like it's looking bad. So he had a 2.16 ERA, 3.55 ERA, 2.28 ERA, 2.48 ERA, 4.5 ERA last year on 7 starts, and a 3 this year. So, I mean, all those are great ERAs. Great seasons.
I feel like his 2024 one is ruined too. I think his last start against the Diamondbacks was like a 7-run outing.
In the playoffs.
No, in the regular season.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember that? I
remember
he had a bad toe. That's when he hurt his toe.
Oh, in 2024?
In 2024.
Oh, okay.
And that was the one that kind of killed his ERA.
Yeah, the toe, man. You know you're getting old when the toe and the thumb get you. God. I love those old fuckers on the mound, man. Verlander at 45. Still doing it. Sorry, 42. Still doing it. I know he doesn't have a win, but you got to respect it. You got to respect it. You know who I don't respect? The Mets, man. What's going on with the Mets?
I stood up for the Mets last week. I'm out on the Mets.
You can't get
so done on the Mets.
You can't get swept by the Pirates, and Paul Skeens doesn't even pitch, and you still get swept by the Pirates?
And it wasn't like, oh man, they're losing these 2-1 games. They had no shot at all the entire series.
30-4, they got outscored by the New York Metropolitans. Sorry, the Pittsburgh Pirates. What a fucking week for Jack. Pirates, Mets, and Rays. Just 3 of the best teams in the league. What are the stats with the Mets right now?
I mean, they won 2 games against the Braves, and aside from that, the last half of June was all losses.
Yeah, they have the worst record in baseball over the past 2 weeks plus, I want to say. And they lost another pitcher. Griffin Canning.
Man, reminded me so much of Michael Soroka's injury. I don't know if you saw it live, but as soon as he went down, I was like, oh, that looked exactly like Soroka.
It's one of those injuries in the ankle, the Achilles, where you can see it pop through his sock, where you just, it looks gross. It's like vibrating.
And then you start thinking like, oh my God, that could happen to me. I could just be like walking and it could explode.
Not me, built different.
So yeah, since June 13, the Mets are 3-13. They have a 6.41 team ERA, which is the worst in baseball.
That's what it is, man. I knew it. It's the starting pitchers. And not to say that the Mets are a bad team. Everyone has bad stretches, but the starting pitchers on the Mets right now, I mean, just on paper, they're not good. I mean, Frankie Montas had a good start against the Braves coming back, and he had an 11+ ERA in the minor leagues, and this is the guy they're getting back. Did very well against the Braves, but against the Pirates yesterday or 2 days ago, did not look good. It looked like the minor league Montas. Minor league.
How are you
Montas.
allowing 6 runs to the Pirates?
Shit happens. Now they got a guy named Blade Tidwell giving it the old shot, trying to save the Mets' pitching staff.
They let go of Dickie Lovelady, then they brought him back.
Dickie Lovelady is out, guys.
And then he's back.
Sean Manaea had a setback, as we covered before. Tyler McGill is on the mend. They're praying to get Senga back eventually sooner rather than later, but tough stretch for the New York Mets. Oh, have the mighty have fallen. They'll be back. Are you more concerned with the Mets going forward or the Phillies? Because they've been struggling. The Phillies the Phillies have been struggling a little bit. They got swept by the Astros, but they've won 2 out of 3 of the Mets. The offense have been struggling. The Mets. Are you more worried about the Mets pitching or the Phillies hitting?
The Mets pitching.
100%.
I'm really questioning if the Mets are even a playoff team right now. They've played so badly for a month, 17 days.
The Mets missed the playoffs. Mitchell's Mets missed the playoffs. Dude, I would love it. I'd be so sad.
But this team, Juan Soto finally starts to hit, and then you are basically the worst team in baseball. It really doesn't make sense to me.
I know. I love it. Like Juan Soto has been so amazing. Like over the past, this whole stretch, he's by far the best, most valuable player on the Mets this whole year. Like by far now. 3.5 WAR for Juan Soto. Second place is Alonso with 3. So not even close.
The greatest thing Soto did was win a World Series at 20, so no one could be like, "Oh, your team plays badly," and you're just like a stat merchant. Now he's safe for life. He's got a World Series.
Clubhouse cancer, dude. Team is only good if he's bad.
That would be the narrative if the Nats didn't win in 2019.
I mean, can't you see the narrative? That's why he didn't want to play with Judge. He doesn't like being overshadowed. He only likes it if he's the best player on the team by far.
And by far he is.
Yeah. I don't believe that. That's just what they're saying on Twitter. I'm not that worried about the Mets compared to you. I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs, but the last few weeks has been terrible. What are their odds right now?
I had it pulled up earlier. It's still 70%.
Yeah, that's funny. After they got swept
77, yeah.
They won 2 of those games against the Braves in that 4-game series. And just based on playoff odds, that kind of got them back where they were. And then they got swept by the Pirates, and I feel like it didn't really change much.
Who are they about to play? Oh, the Brewers.
And the Brewers are hot. Hottest team versus the coldest team.
Brewers and Yankees. This next week could be a mini make or break before the All-Star break.
They're going to face Misiorowski.
Yeah, they have to be, right?
Yeah. Let's go. Misiorowski versus the Mets.
You've lost the ski even now.
It's all right. It's all right. They know who I'm talking about. Luckily, there's no one else named Misiorowski out there. Except that guy with the Pirates who made the most clutchest home run in the 1962 World Series. What was his name, Mitchell? Pirates legend?
Misiorowski.
Misiorowski.
Or is it just, Misiorowski? Yeah.
Damn. Cardinals sweep the Guardians, dude. Did we not respect the Cardinals enough?
I didn't.
You
I
know
have
that
to say it.
that was the only time the Cardinals swept Cleveland in a 3-game series ever, which I want to think means any Cleveland team ever. I mean, these two franchises have been around since the Civil War. That's the first time the Cardinals have swept Cleveland.
I mean, they didn't have a chance to sweep Cleveland for the first 140 years of that.
There's you with the facts. And the added context that makes what I say less cool. But they swept them this time, man. And this is what William Contreras had to say about that. Wilson Contreras.
Everything comes here, and they think they're gonna face like a good team or nice team or shitty team, and I think we're a good team and we can fuck everybody and whoever wanna comes here and try to win us they're gonna have a hard time.
Keep it going. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Yeah, so everyone comes against the Cardinals, think they're going to face a shitty team, a bad team, and then they fucking rinse them every time.
Do you think the whole, like, oh, we might have to sell our best players, we're not going to compete, was just a ruse to get everyone, like, off the Cardinals?
No, but I am curious about what the Cardinals are looking at the trade deadline. Because right now, I mean, without a doubt, the way they've been playing recently, they're definitely going to be in it. They're definitely going to be in it at the deadline. I'd be very surprised if they're not at least a few games within striking distance of a wild card spot. Right now, I think they're 2.5 games back behind the Cubs after sweeping the Guardians.
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5 games back. They got the last wild card spot. 9 games over the Mendoza line.
I mean, you have to buy.
Yeah, you can't.
You have no choice.
Sell, and then also it's like, who are you even going to trade if you're the Cardinals right now? I mean, Nolan Arenado's the obvious one, and I guess I guess some teams would want Nolan Arenado. He's about a league average hitter as of now. Over the past few years, he's been a league average hitter. I got to assume the defense is not what it used to be. I don't think that's an assumption, right? That's
that, he's 2 outs above average this year. So above average, but not like 2019 when he had 22 outs above average.
Exactly. You're not going to get a crazy package for Arenado at the deadline this year. The only other guy, at least going into the season, that you would have thought would have been Helsley, who's going to be a free agent. But Helsley, I'm sure they could probably get a lot for Helsley. Like, let's see how he pitches. He's got a 3.41 ERA right now, which, for a closer, that could be very misleading. And it's not terrible. But, I mean, I could see him pulling a Tigers thing, maybe.
They trade one player.
Trade a couple guys and see what happens and still try to win.
I feel like the NL is just too competitive to try that strategy.
Yeah. And it's different because the Tigers going in the deadline were terrible last year. Like, it wasn't like they didn't think they have a chance. The Cardinals now do have a chance.
Didn't they have wasn't it a 0.3% chance or something like that at the deadline?
So that's why they traded. It wasn't like they were playing great and they're like, we're going to sell no matter what. So the Cardinals have played themselves into a corner. You got to hold on. You got to add, Cardinals. Got to respect the Cardinals. Beat the Cubs in a series. That was a huge win. And then they beat the Guardians. They also beat the Cincinnati Reds in a series, which is another big division matchup. And they're looking great. Sonny Gray still looking great. Libertone. Like, you look at their fucking starters, no offense to them. They just look so bad. I always see, Miles Michaelis starting, and I'm like, that's good. That could be a crooked number.
Their starting pitchers are all guys with 2.5 ERAs and 5 FIPS.
Yeah.
And you're like, how is this happening? They're striking out 4 batters an inning.
Gotta respect it. Steven Matz is still out there. I guess Steven Matz coming out of the bullpen now. Found some new life out of the pen. Love it for the Cardinals. I love they got a fight too. Wilson Contreras fighting the Cubs, which is hilarious. Dude, the tables have turned, bro.
Yeah, second time a fight has happened between the Cubs and the Cardinals because of Contreras.
Well, hasn't Contreras fought I want to say he fought the Cardinals 10 times when he was on the Cubs.
I couldn't.
Who was he beefing with his whole?
I mean, there was one time he was beefing with the Braves.
Contreras is always beefing with people. I just assumed that he was probably fighting the Cardinals because they're rivals. Guess not. Dodgers sweep the Rockies. That's a big news. 6-0 against the Rockies this year. Shohei pitched. That wasn't against the Rockies, but Shohei looked gnarly. I saw a headline, didn't read the article. Did Shohei Ohtani get better at pitching after 2 Tommy Johns? Question mark. I read that and I said, yeah, definitely. That's insane. But I believe it. I don't have to look into that. He definitely got better.
I mean, his average fastball velocity is 2 miles an hour faster than it was in 2023. It's definitely not because he's only pitching 1 or 2 innings.
Yeah.
It's just because of that Tommy John.
I was watching him against the Royals. And I think he got the first guy out. Then he gave up a hit to Bobby Witt, and then he walked a guy. And he was sitting at like 94. And then as soon as that happens, he's throwing 100.
I think in his head, this game, he was finally like, okay, I'm going to take it easy. I've been really amped up for the last 2 games, but I can take it easy. And then whatever happened, he's like, no,
get on base.
Can't let this happen.
There were 200-mile-per-hour pitches to Pasquantino. What's your nugget on Pasquantino? He only throws hard to Pasquantino?
Yeah, so Jeff Passan tweeted that the fastball he threw at 101.7 was the hardest pitch of his MLB career. But he did do that in the World Baseball Classic against Team Italy, and Vinny Pasquantino was the batter. So I think he must have, either he sees Vinny Pasquantino as the greatest hitter in MLB, and so he's dialing it back, or he just really hates Vinny Pasquantino.
Fuck Vinny Pasquantino. I'll say it. If you're going to come after Shohei, if Shohei doesn't like you, I don't like you. But I do respect Pasquantino because he actually went off in that game. I want to say he had like 3 or 4 RBIs to beat the Dodgers. Dodgers finally lost a game. I mean, well, I don't know. They were on a crazy win streak, but they got to play the Rockies. 3 free wins against the Rockies, then 2 wins against the Royals. And let's see the division right now. I mean, I predicted that
Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah, 7-game lead for the Dodgers right now. They are 21 games over the Mendoza line. Because their schedule this past week has been a cakewalk. You saw it coming from a mile away. Who they play before they played the Rockies? The Nats. Yeah. So took it to the Nats, 2 out of 3 against the Nats, swept the Rockies, then 2 out of 3 against the Royals. And with the Padres and the Giants not playing so great, that'll get you an NL West title before the All-Star break. They're 7 games up right now. I think I checked it yesterday. They have a 99.7% chance to make the playoffs. Bro, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. I think
It's hard to find any, they're like pitching with no names you've never heard of.
But that's what makes me think they're because all their pitchers are hurt. So that makes it, they're going to be healthy in the playoffs. It's like perfect. It's good that they're all hurt.
I mean, Freddie Freeman sucks right now. Mookie Betts sucks right now. And it's like they're just cakewalking everybody. I'm like, I don't even know. I want to find flaws against the Dodgers.
Shohei's doing rehab starts in major league games.
Will Smith, if it wasn't for Cal Raleigh, we'd be talking about Will Smith as having one of the greatest catching seasons of all time.
I think his ass is on par with his too. I honestly, not going back to the ass debate, but like Will Smith, it's not flat. Is it that much
really
smaller than the dumpers?
Expect a flat ass from a catcher, though.
It's true. It's true. That's rare.
I think if you have a flat ass catcher, something's wrong with the catcher.
Definitely. That's an issue. But yeah, so the Dodgers go up 7 games because the Giants and the Padres aren't playing that great either. The Padres just lost to the Reds. 2 out of 3, the Reds beat the Padres. Nick Martinez takes a no-hitter into the 9th and then loses it to Martin Maldonado. That's tough. Like the worst qualified hitter over the past 5 years. That's how you lose the no-hitter. But respect to Nick Martinez. Great outing. 112 pitches. And he's like been coming out of the bullpen too. It's funny. He's not even a full-time starter. But when you make him a full-time starter, you get it. And they walked off Robert Suarez.
You did the
I don't know what I don't want to know what direction I want to. Should I talk about the Royals or the Reds or the Padres now? Because if I'm the Padres fan, Padres got off hot. They've kind of been a little mid lately, and they've kind of lost their division. I think they would be out of the playoffs right now if the season ended today.
They're 1 game out.
Yeah, and like there's nothing really obvious that worries you at the Padres, but I will say Robert Suarez, I think, has given up runs in 3 out of his last 6 outings, and he's been one of the most elite closers in the league this year. If you lose him, That's something to be worried about. If he starts pitching bad, I would be worried. Tatis is not playing good lately. And the Padres have struggled. But the Reds have not. The Reds are electric. Because honestly, we were down on the Reds going into the season because they had that high 2023 and then never really did much to it. And they had those young guys coming up. But it's like they're actually set for another one of those things right now. They have Ellie De La Cruz. They have Andrew Abbott, who we don't talk about. Andrew Abbott, look at his ERA. Andrew Abbott, who I don't know why no one ever talks about Andrew Abbott. He's electric as shit. Not only is his ERA low, sometimes you guys got to have a low ERA, but they throw like 92, so no one talks about it. But he throws 99 miles per hour.
If he walked into this studio right now and you were sitting him down and interviewing him, I would be like, who is this guy? I would not recognize this man on the street.
Andrew Abbott? You don't know Andrew Abbott? He's a Virginia guy. Of course I know what he looks like. We went to high school together. He's on the swim team. I know all about him. But they got Andrew Abbott, beast, who no one talks about. 1.79 ERA right now. Is he not qualified or something? 14 starts? I guess he'd
be
starts.
not qualified by like 2 or 3 games.
And you got Hunter Green. We already crowned him the best pitcher in baseball 1 week. And now you got Chase Burns throwing 90,000 miles per hour with Ellie De La Cruz. Like, this Reds team is actually fucking fun all of a sudden. All right. My bad. Yeah, this Reds team is low-key fun all of a sudden.
Whoa. It's like I heard you for the first time all episode.
All right, well. So I shouldn't talk into it. Now the levels are going to be fucked up.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Also, I said that off air. You guys always blow that.
Okay. I wouldn't know. So hey, Chase Burns against Crochet this coming up today. That's going to be a big start. The Reds need it. No, the Red Sox need it. Reds versus Red Sox. Who you got in that one?
I'm full blown.
He's talking to
Red
me,
Sox hater.
Mitch.
Sorry.
Who you got in that one, Jack?
Reds.
Chase Burns. It's going to be an interesting game. All right, anything else we want to talk about right now? This one's gone long.
I don't think so. Fan question.
Okay, this question. Replace Mitch with somebody funny. That's not a question.
I thought it was funny how pressed this guy was.
Mitch
is very, very not funny. Replace Mitch with someone funny. 2 different comments.
Honestly.
I mean, I'm not the comedian in this room.
I'm going to find this
I
guy.
bombed a joke so badly last week, I wanted to just go home.
What was the joke?
It was the Department of Offense. Both of you just dead quiet. I was like, oh shit, I should just leave now.
Dude, that was I
complex joke, you know?
Yeah, you're talking to the 2 dumbest guys
I was
on
like,
earth
man,
right
I gotta go. Gotta quit, never show
But
my face
also,
again.
this isn't a fucking comedy podcast. What's this guy's name? Prefecto? Hey, fuck you, bro. How about that?
No, I like
Mitch doesn't even try to be funny. Mitch knows ball, okay? Jack knows funny, Mitch knows ball.
Yeah, Jack's the hired comedian, not me.
Oh, it sounds like Perfecto's a big Jack fan, though. Maybe you should switch your tone, Mr. Schwartz.
Well, I'm a big Mitch fan.
Respect it. Best mustache in baseball? Strider.
I mean, we're Braves fans. It's hard not to say
I'm
Strider,
just
but
kidding.
Jake Rogers does have a good stash.
Jake Rogers looks crazy, dude. If it's the guy I'm thinking of.
I think it's the guy you're thinking of.
It's not really his mustache. Okay, it's not. Okay, this is not. Okay, I don't know who I'm looking at right now.
I mean, sorry to Strider, this is a better mustache.
I don't even see what his mustache looks like. First of all, it's fucking Chafin for the Nationals has the best mustache in MLB. Way better than both of those.
I think Jake Rogers has like such a big gap between his upper lip and his nose that the mustache fills it in so much that it really just, it's like, it is a pretty perfect mustache.
Who was the guy? Dude, his Baseball Reference picture last year had to be different. He looked crazy in it. Like, I think of a different player. I think it was Jake Rogers, but he looks normal in this. Looks like a, cool looking guy. Yeah. But I'm looking at Baseball Reference. He has a beard, so I can't really speak on Jake Rogers' mustache that well. I'm giving it to Chafin. Maybe you call it a Fu Manchu. I think that's the style of mustache. I'm giving it to Chafin. What are you guys going to do in the offseason? Just talk about trades or just stop? We're going to stop. That's probably it.
You missed the best part of that comment. Please answer.
Well, your wish has been granted. We will stop in the offseason. We're probably not even going to get to the offseason. Don't worry about it.
Last step.
Last episode of all time. So, Tony, I appreciate the question. I appreciate you listening. Or we'll turn to football.
MMA's all season, all year.
MMA, big knockout this weekend, Jack.
There fucking sure was, bro.
Big knockout. That's a name I can pronounce.
Mitch, what do you know about Ilia Topuria?
Topuria.
Absolutely nothing. Are we going to switch roles?
Yeah, how's that feel?
Not fun.
I know a lot about him, man. He's from Georgia.
I think he's
The country.
from Spain.
He's Spanish, but he's from Georgia.
Are you sure about that?
His ethnicity is Georgian. Thank you. He fights out of Spain. He's a chorizo, the Spanish sausage. That's what Patty the Batty said. Because Patty the Batty's going to face him next, bro. I think. What do you think?
Dana doesn't like that, but
Dana's kind of taken a step back and he's not really been involved as much, you know?
that's crazy.
He's
I don't
ki-
think that's true.
He's kind of more worried about power slap. Dana White's not really. It's kind of the Dana White era is over.
Should we do a PDE power slap contest?
Yeah. I'm down. Let's just do a real MMA fight. Mitchell versus Jack. Winner gets to take my place.
How about you and Mitchell versus me?
Oh.
It's a lot of confidence, but I
Hey
think
man,
Jack
you know
is waiting
that's
as, like, a
bullshit.
nothing.
You know, martial arts is about respect, and it's not about cockiness. So I know right now from you saying that you're not a good fighter. It's not in you.
No, I'm actually like thinking it through because Mitch is like a pacifist. Mitch wouldn't even be a factor, really. It just sounds cooler to say the two of you, but really it's just me and you, and Mitch is just there being like, oh boy.
It's like a YouTube video. I fought 1,000 people, but it's 1,000 people who just won't fight at all.
All right, well, we'll be fighting next episode, but until then, I think that's all she wrote. Thank you guys so much. Peace, love, and peace and health.
That was nice, dude. Okay, love you. Bye.